really happened? Well, I'm here to tell you that it did, and you're just about to get the opportunity to say that you got to see it, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter. Just sit back and enjoy. I'm Simon Golding. It's a pleasure to be here with you for this men's final from the Spanish Open. A 3-week break for the men, but now they return to action, and not soon enough. Now, Marcio and Benjamin Insferan from Brazil will be playing in the grey tops, and they flew into Mallorca only just before this event started. Amazingly, they've got through to the final. 27 degrees, 74% humidity, cloudy. Apart from a little bit of wind, just about perfect beach volleyball weather. Here's Benjamin then, 31 years old, the blocker in this team. He will play at the net all the time and try to be the obstacle for the attackers to hit round, so that this man, Marcio, 30 years old now, can do his defensive job. And he is defensively brilliant, so it's going to be an interesting contest. Marcus Dieckman is the defensive player on his team. Both teams playing exactly the same system. One big blocker, one smaller, quicker defender. And Marcus Dieckman returning after a back injury and stomach strain after that Berlin final that they lost earlier in the year. Still after their first World Tour win, joined by partner Jonas Reckerman. 2 meters and 3, the tallest player on court today. So the Germans in the blue kits, the Brazilians in their grey silver kit, to show that they're second on the World Tour at the moment in the red shorts. We join the action in set 1 with Brazil just trailing Germany by 9 points to 12. And already it's pretty obvious both these teams are in pretty good nick, but they've also had a tough route to this final. Now, for Marcus Dieckman and Jonas Reckerman of Germany, they beat Barasetti and Conde of Argentina 2-1 in their semi-final. Terrific win there, 1 hour and 5 minutes they were on court. And in the quarter-finals, Marcus Dieckman beat his brother Christian and his partner Sjöpflug 2-0. So 2 tough matches to get through to this stage for the German team. Good blocking. This is what both these teams are about, a solid block and tough defence. Well, Marcus Dieckman there, just getting the wheels on, as they call it on beach volleyball, scooting across the sand but unable to make the play. Germany still lead 13-10. Marcio and Benjamin Insferan. The Brazilians beat compatriots Harley and Franco in the semi-finals 2-1. And that was 1 hour and 23 minutes of volleyball action. And that is nearly the longest volleyball match under this new scoring system that's been recorded. In the quarterfinals, they beat the Lassiger brothers 2-0. Did that pretty easily. But as I've already said, the Germans arrived here quite early. They've been here training in Mallorca for some time. The Brazilians flew in a day before the start of qualification. That's how confident they were. 14-10 at the moment. It's the Germans with a 4-point advantage. 21 points is the target in this first and second set. If it does go to 1 set all, then we'll have a 15-point tiebreaker. A little bit of a dispute there. Benjamin Insferan with his familiar trademark straight down spike. He tends to hit these onto the line on both sides of the court, and they really go steeply. And Insferan just a little upset there, the guy in your picture, that the Germans should claim his spike was out. But everyone's happy and friends again. Well played. Good comeback from Dieckman. Sometimes this guy's side-out game can be a problem. If a team gets an idea of what he's doing, he finds it difficult to put the ball away. He's not the tallest player out there on the court by any means, only about 1.90 m tall. Here's Jonas Reckerman with the serve. He comes straight through to the net to block. They've picked on Benjamin a lot, and Benjamin has responded with big side-outs. He's one of these players that gets a little bit upset if he gets served, because he tends to feel, such as his confidence in his own ability, he tends to feel that nobody can touch him. So why should a team serve against him? But proving his own belief right on the last 2 spikes. And a block, but just out. So Marcus Dieckman swinging hard. Couple of soft shots from him, and then the final big swing. And I doubt if the Brazilian team are going to serve anyone else than the #1 German player. The guy in the #1 vest, just about to serve himself now. he's going to have a tough day at the office siding out. A left-handed spike from Marcio Araujo into the net on the second touch, and Benjamin will not be happy about that. Benjamin Insfran, quite a moody player, the Brazilian in the #1 vest. He's been siding out like a demon in this game, and for some reason Marcio Araujo decided to hit that second ball. He hit it straight in the net. Insfran back, and he's blocked. Well, he's going to be, if he was in a mood off the last point, he's going to be beside himself now. A little smile there to Jonas Reckerman to kind of say, well done. Okay, I'll give you that one. And the Germans are looking very good value for money in this game, and possibly they can keep this form up. They are looking at their first Swatch FIVB World Tour win of their careers. They've had a couple of second places this year. This season has been their year. They've exploded onto the scene, really. Everybody knew they were capable of it last year. A lot of people talking about them, but they never really consolidated that. This year, they've come through big time. Well, Benjamin, after that last cut shot mistake, decides he's going to trade up the shots for the power. And here's one of these traditional down-the-line swings. Just incredible power. Wonderful stuff from Benjamin, but they're in serious trouble in this first set. Germans just 2 points away from the 21 that they need. Great cross-court shot from Dieckman. And that sets up the German set point, and they have 7 of them. This has been a terrific set of volleyball for the German #1 team against the second team on the World Tour World Rankings. Well up, Dieckman. The brilliance continues, but he can't quite get it into a zone where Jonas Reckerman can play it. The ball rebounding off the net, out of Reckerman's reach. But this was one hell of a pickup, goalkeeping style. Overhand dig, very unlucky. Marcio Araujo to serve, still set point down, they've missed it. The Germans advance into a 1-set-to-love lead in this best-of-3 set final here at the Spanish Men's Open final, 21-14. Reckerman and Dieckman lead the Brazilians. We'll take a short break there. We'll be back with the second set.
With Swatch.
Welcome back to Mallorca and finals action from the Swatch FIVB World Tour on the centre court here at Playa de Palma Beach in Palma. We join the second set with Brazil leading the Germans 12 points to 11. And of course Germany taking that first set in pretty straightforward circumstances, 21 points to 14. And it looked at this stage as if Marcio Araujo and Benjamin were really out of sorts after a tough run through to the final. But a very tight travel schedule that brought them to Mallorca just a day before this event started. Second set then, 12-all. Good side out, a little pressure, and the service strategy of the Germans continues. Again, this is going to be watched with interest by many of the coaches and teams at this event, with the Grand Slam in Los Angeles coming up. That actually starts this weekend for the finals. There will be some highlights coverage of that coming up on Eurosport. But a lot of coaches will be thinking, well, we've never thought to serve Benjamin before on a regular basis. The Germans have done it very effectively. I would imagine to do it effectively, though, you need a blocker the size of Jonas Reckerman at least, 2 meters and 3, Jonas Reckerman. Gets way, way up above the net, has an enormous jump, does the German blocker. On this occasion, getting a kick for his troubles from Benjamin, and it's really unsettled Benjamin Insfran. This is the most unstable I've seen him on the court. High set, the wind taking it out of his reach, really. Lands, touches the net, bumps Reckerman, and another point goes the way of the Germans. Germany in the blue kit, Brazilians in their silver kit, and an audible sigh. The Brazilians are popular here. They came runners-up in last year's inaugural Spanish Open in Mallorca. when they lost out to the Lassiger brothers. The Lassigers taking the last 2 tournaments of the season. But this time round, the Lassigers losing out in the quarter-finals to Marcio, Araujo and Benjamin, so some revenge there for the Brazilians. But at the moment, the revenge might not be that sweet. If they don't win here today, then they will feel that it's a job not completely done. Again, great side out from Dieckman. He's hit that cross-court shot very well indeed. Every time Insfran has jumped into it, he's just gone a little higher and off the hands. Good line shot from Insfran, but again, I think he was just fading away from the ball. Wasn't hit with 100% conviction. 21-14 to the Germans in that first set. Quite unbelievable. Second set though. Benjamin and Marcio Araujo have looked a little more stable. But this was the point at which the German team pulled away from them in the last set, so they've got to be careful. Again, how many times is he going to hit this? And such is the tiredness of the Brazilians that they've now started to split blocks. So on that occasion, for the first time in some considerable months, Benjamin deciding not to run through to the net to block. That meant Dieckman had a better chance to hit over the slightly smaller Marcio Araujo. Again, the line shot. Again, it's successful. Looks so easy, doesn't it, to get to the ball? And when it's that far in the air, but there's so much court to cover, you really do have to stand your ground, be still when the ball is hit. Well, after Dieckman makes a good set of side outs, they decide to serve the taller player, Jonas Reckerman, in your shot there. Reckerman just comes straight back with a massive side out. And this is looking good for the Germans. They've never won on the Swatch FIVB World Tour. And at the moment, they look good for a gold. Insfran, better shot. He's basically got 3 shots, Benjamin Insfran. Very, very hard down the line. And then he's got these little chip shots, cross-court, and a roll shot down the line on the rainbow. And that's pretty much his armoury. 3 shots. The Germans have dealt with that well today. Again, they go to Reckerman. Oh, Insfran's got a dig on him. Well, playing out of position in defence. That's a great play. Oh, it's up again. Well played, Benjamin Insfran. Great rally, though. Dieckman comes back. It's going over from Reckerman. It's up again. Insfran, 3 digs in a row. And a huge put down through the middle. Well, if a point was ever going to steal a team to greater effort, to convince them to keep going with the fight, then this was it. Dieckman and Reckerman, the Germans, did everything they could to stop the Brazilians taking it. But a wonderful form hit at the end from Insfran, stayed beautifully straight in the air to dispatch the ball through the middle of the court, and Brazil move into the lead, 18 points to 17 in the second set. They trail the German team by 1 set to love, and they looked out on their feet for a time. Insfran to serve. Oh, good try in terms of the block from Araujo, but Reckerman too good for him, too high in the air. Forces it through the arms. Bit of news for you from earlier on in the championships. The bronze medalist from Atlanta, Charlton Heese of Canada, still struggling, went out in pool play and they've had to go back home to Toronto. Child with a confirmed 50% tear on his medial collateral ligament, so he's gone back to Toronto to rehab. They want to try and play try and play in Los Angeles if they can. Back to the action here, another amazing rally developing. Oh, this is just terrific beach volleyball from both teams. I'd say at the moment the centre court divided 50-50. Some massive German support here. This, of course, a very popular holiday destination for many countries around Europe, but a big favourite with German tourists. So there's a lot here in the centre court stadium, and a lot of Spaniards left over from last year who remember the terrific game that Marcio Araujo and Benjamin had with the Lassigers. But it's advantage now, Brazil. And the block from Benjamin And the little look through the net at Reckerman says, I told you I was going to get you eventually. And now the German team have gone from looking like they were going to take this gold medal 2-0 to now looking like they face a third and deciding tiebreaker set. Marcio Araujo serves, Reckerman to attack, and it's down. Great stuff, and the looks between the two big men, Reckerman and Insferan, continues. And at the moment, it's just in the favour of the German attacker. We shall see how Benjamin Insferan responds. 1 set point to level it. 1 set apiece to take us into a tiebreaker set. It's 1 kill that the Brazilians need. Insferan has the ball. He attacks and he wins the point. He wins the set, and the Brazilians are not out as we thought. They've levelled it at 1 set all. We'll be back after the break with the deciding set.
Baby, there's something about you that I can't hold on to. I'm gonna hold on to this. Baby, there's something about you that I can't hold on to. I'm gonna hold on to this. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming, yeah. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming.
Samson.
The Spanish Open here on the Swatch FIVB World Tour 2003. Conditions have worsened slightly. The wind has really picked up, but the atmosphere in the stadium hasn't changed. We go to third set action, 4 points all. The German team in the blue kit, the Brazilians in their silver tops, to indicate the fact that they currently lay second on the Swatch FIVB World Tour rankings. They now take a narrow lead, and remember, the third and deciding set to 21 to 15 points only, the previous 2 to 21. It makes it fast, it makes it furious, and it makes it pretty tense. Good stuff from both teams, and Reckerman now getting a proportion of the serves. He's sided out very well though in response to that. The taller player on the German side just going off the top of the block. Anywhere else in court, and I think that Marcio Araujo may have got to that. Good support for both teams. The centre court stadium packed out, and they are being treated to a wonderful set of volleyball. We've already had about 4 rallies that, well, if you get 1 per game of the quality that we've had here today, you'd be delighted. We've already had 4, and both teams must be really tired now. The Brazilians on court in the semi-final for 1 hour 23 minutes this morning to beat Harley and Franco. And the Germans on court for 1 hour 5 minutes against Barasetti and Conde. Both teams coming through 2-1 against their opponents, and that's why they are pretty tired. Key event for the Germans in terms of Olympic qualification, but even more so, if you can believe that, for the Brazilians. They may lay in second place on the tour, but there's so many Brazilian teams in the running for Olympic places. Marcio Araujo and Benjamin know they must keep winning. If they do, they'll be going to Athens, and that is their key objective. But to win, they've got to beat a buzzing German side. And Dieckman, what a classic pick-up line from Marcus Dieckman, and then comes up with the heat cross court. Well, you might be tired, but if you get a pick-up like that, you just get that little bit more energy to attack. It really is going to come down to both mental and physical fitness and strength. Insferan, casual line shot from him to level it at 7 apiece. Clever stuff from the German team, making the big guy move, but he's equal to the demands of their serve. Reckerman now has to move. He's looking very fresh indeed. And a little dispute about whether it pinched the line or not. Looks like the ball mark is going to be inspected by the second official. There is the ball mark. If any part of that ball touched the line, then it is considered to be in. You would have to say, with the power that Reckerman hit that with the compression he hit it with, and just from looking at that, you would say the ball was in. It had just clipped the line. Marcio refusing to let the line judge do his business. He's talking to both the second official and lines judge off shot. He's not allowed to do that. Has to let the second official get on with the job without interference. Marcio only too happy to be over there to point to where the ball mark was, to tell her that he's convinced it was out. At this stage of the game, if there's a point going, you want it. And the change of ends is still not clear from our pictures who got the signal, and the signal went to the Brazilians. Well, from what I could see from the ball mark, yes, the ball mark was wide of the line, but the ball mark, of course, only a small proportion of the bottom of the ball, and from where it was, just a millimetre to the side of that sideline, surely the ball did just touch it, but very, very difficult to tell. And you would have to go with the linesperson's call. The linesperson's initial reaction was out. I think that's why the second official and first official have upheld the call. It was close enough. Again, the line call. Insferan reaches into the cross court at the last minute with that big block of his, the #1 shirt player from Brazil. Benjamin Insferan, now based in Quebec in Canada. Based there, if you can believe this, because his hobby is skiing. So that's why he's moved up to North America to enjoy that passion in the off-season. Good serve, Reckerman. Nice control from Insferan. And a wonderful set, a wonderful roll shot from him. I like what Araujo did with that set. He was chasing backwards rather than try and force it wide again. A lot of beach volleyball players would do that. It's a good thing to learn. Just follow your setter down, get in a straight line on your setter and let them set a nice, easy 2-metre ball in front of them. And it opens up the court, takes the pressure off. Bad miss from Benjamin Insferan. He wasn't putting pressure on that serve. And I think you can see by the body language of both teams here that they're going through a phase in the match where they're being quite cautious, but they also look very tired indeed. And that's a danger for both teams. You can't just put the ball in court and hope that your opponents will make a mistake. If they spot any sign of weakness, they will pounce on it. Dieckman serves Insferan again. Again, the ball set into the middle of the court to take the pressure off the handling of Marcio Araujo. And again, Insferan that can see everything on that side of the court. He watches, waits for Dieckman to go, and chips it down the line. It's on, it's played on by Insferan and Marcio Araujo. Great stuff again. Marcio celebrating with himself. Been playing with Benjamin Insferan since about 1996. Both players originally from Fortaleza in the north of Brazil. And Benjamin is in fact the first who will admit in a press conference that he is moody, that he does demand the highest standards from Marcio Araujo and himself. And to that end, he's not interested in conversations on court. The only conversations he will ever have are to tell Marcio Araujo that he's done something wrong. Marcio, in your picture, just gets on with it, and when he needs a bit of help, goes to the crowd. Good blocking from Insferan. It's a great set onto the net. The joust is contained just by the Germans. Benjamin to attack again, but it's sneakily put over on two by Marcio Araujo. He's going to think twice about that, because Marcus Dieckman was on it. This guy has been a defence machine today. There is no way he should have got this ball, but he did. And he got it right on Reckerman's head, got the set and banged it cross court on his favourite shot. 11-10. Brazil lead the Germans, but Germany are getting themselves back into this tiebreaker set. 15 points, remember. That's the target.
The ball went backwards, you got the block. It didn't stop you from making
So the debate between the first official and Jonas Reckerman continuing. He's not completely happy about the way some of the points have gone. And that's what you want to see from your first official. Good, solid answers. No ifs and maybes. It's all about, this is the decision I made, this is why I made it, that's my explanation. And you will often find, on most occasions, that the professional players on this tour will walk away, accept it, and get on with the game. They know that it's not in their interests to have a protracted argument. Jonas Reckerman goes back to serve. Good serve. Insfran straight down the middle of the court. Dieckman's on it, but a bad set from Reckerman. Oh, the arguments continue. Insfran is saying, look, the ball's down, don't whinge about it. It's gone down, don't try and claim the point now. Now, Dieckman picks it up. Reckerman bump sets, but it drifts onto the net. And I think you've got to say that ball has broken the plane of the net. That was in the Brazilian court space. It was his to hit. And without the benefit of a side-on square view of that play, then it has to be the referee's call, full stop. I'm not in position at the moment to be able to help you with that on our replays. But from where we're sitting, it looked like the ball had drifted over. And I think it's pretty obvious that Dieckman touched the net as it was. So the Brazilians take the point. Good side out. Well, that's the way to come back. If you're upset, if you're annoyed with the other team, if you're annoyed with the decision, let the ball do the talking. The Brazilians find themselves pegged back to just 1 point now. And the German team in blue will not go away in this men's open final here in Mallorca. Good serve. They are making Benjamin Insfran move on every point. And it doesn't seem to matter. Another thunderbolt from Benjamin cross-court. He really hit this one as hard as he could. Just couldn't be bothered about the block or the defensive setup. Just decided that one was going down, and it did. 13-11, Brazil lead. 15 points to take this title. The penultimate Swatch FIVB World Tour event before the Nissan Grand Slam in Los Angeles this weekend. Reckerman is dug. Araujo will have a chance to swing for another point. But Dieckman picks him up, and Dieckman goes cross-court, and he saves the German team from going to match point down. Terrific stuff from the guys in blue. And Marcio Araujo had a massive opportunity to score on this one, but he doesn't. We're going to take a short time out there, but when we come back, we'll have the conclusion of this tiebreaker set. Centre court here in Playa de Palma. The wind now is really gusting along. The conditions very cool indeed, and that's probably what has saved these two terrific teams, because they're tired, but they are really gutsing it out. What a block from Jonas Reckerman. You haven't missed a thing. It's 13 points all now. And the Brazilians had the opportunity to really cruise through, to be honest, in this third set. But German determination, both at the net with Jonas Reckerman and in defence with his partner Marcus Dieckman, has brought them back into contention. 13 all, 15 points to target in this third and tiebreaker set. The men's final at the Spanish Open. Second time it's been hosted here in Mallorca, and Benjamin Insfran, runners-up last year to the Lassiger brothers, now find themselves match ball down to the German team of Reckerman and Dieckman. Well, that looked absolutely fine. It looked like the referee had maybe blown for 2 touches there, but he hadn't. That was a put away by Benjamin Insfran. My apologies to the Brazilians. So in fact, it's the Brazilians with match ball. Insfran sprints to the net. Dieckman gets enough on it, and he handcuffs Marcio Araujo cross court. Marcio Araujo was in a position to dig this ball, and he just got his hips out of the line, drifted away from him, and ended up having to try and play it with one hand. was very slow, unlinking his hands for the play. 14-all. We're going to play on to 2 clear points. I told you this was going to be a cracker. Insfaran attacks cross-court again. He doesn't hit that cross-court shot a lot, but he's had to change to it today because it's the most he's been served, well, I would imagine, since about 96 when he first played the tour and the teams all thought he was a junior. 30 years old, but he does look a lot younger. And it is match ball once again to the Brazilians. Marcio Araujo, left-hand jump serve onto Dieckman. Dieckman, beautiful shot. Well, how can Benjamin be looking at Marcio Araujo for a defensive play there? That was terrific from Dieckman. Just brushed the top of the Brazilian blocker's fingers and out over the sideline. Marcus Dieckman has shown no signs of that early season injury after Berlin. Bit of a back problem to start with, turned into an abdominal strain. They've fought their way back to form. They fought their way back through the qualification draws. And they find themselves in a final once again, and they are putting on a terrific performance here. We need 2 clear points now. 15 points no longer the target. It's whoever gets to the 2 clear first. Service error from Reckerman means Brazil have their 3rd match point. And that's something you rarely see. Benjamin Insfaran has come out of himself today. Maybe it's because he's had to do so much hitting, because he's had to work so hard. But the Brazilian number 1, normally so quiet on court, now enjoying himself with the crowd as well. What a shot from Reckerman under pressure. And the 3rd match ball goes begging as Jonas Reckerman buries it cross court. 16 points all. Really tough situation now for the teams. It is really difficult to take 2 points on your own service under this scoring system. Very tough indeed. Insfaran, chips line. Marcus Dieckman, nowhere to be found, was stranded in mid-court, didn't move. Match point number 4 to Brazil. Oh, this match promised so much. As long as both teams weren't too tired to deliver, this match was always going to be a belter. We weren't sure that it was going to go to 3, but it has. And what a 3 sets of volleyball it has been here in the Spanish Open men's final. You wouldn't know they'd had 3 weeks off, would you? They're playing great volleyball. Match point saved. 5th time by the Germans. 17-all. Very clever shot by Jonas Reckerman, and took a lot of guts to do it. Hitting against the window, so that helped it drop into court. And Reckerman is just going to float serve. Float serves, sprints into the net. Benjamin Insfaran to attack. He has a good look before he hits, and he's missed it. No, he hasn't. Well, Marcus Dieckman clutches his head there. The flag pointing down, it looked to me for the world like it had been missed, and it just bounces the back edge of the baseline. Doesn't get closer than that. Match point number 6 to the Brazilians, 18-17. Benjamin just confirming with Marcio Araujo the plans for this next point. Very important to have an idea of what you're going to do, where the blocker will block, where the defender will stand. Can the Brazilians convert it now? He's missed this time. And a muted celebration from Marcus Dieckman. Sometimes when that service error goes out at a tough period in the game, it can mean almost as much as playing a great point. 18-all. 6 points for this match, passed up by Brazil. It's touched. Has to be going over now by Reckerman. And a block by Benjamin Insfaran, who just casually hangs around at the net for a good stare through. Trademark stuff, and the block sailing back over the heads of the Germans and into court. They pass up the opportunity to score. Match point number 7 to Brazil, 19-18. Araujo, left-hand serve. It's stolen by Reckerman on the pass, and he's saved it again. Well, that was brave stuff from Jonas Reckerman. That ball was not his from the service. He took it off Marcus Dieckman to give him a break on the side out. Passed it well, got a great set, and then humped it cross-court. Nothing Marcio Araujo could do. He was in position, but there was no way the ball was going to be controlled off that spike. Match point number 7 for Brazil gone. The Germans haven't had a match point yet. They are just hanging in there. This set should have gone to 15, but now we will play on until one team gets 2 clear. In effect, that means we could be here all day. Jonas Reckerman to serve. Good jump serve down the line to Marcio Araujo. It's still alive, well up by Dieckman. Germany to score, and they do. Shot through the middle of the court. The best place to go when you're in trouble. As the Americans say, if in a fiddle, you've got to hit middle. And the ball down the middle causes the problems. And Germany have their first match point. Yet to win a title on this Swatch FIVB World Tour. 20 points to 19, they lead. The crowd up on their feet in appreciation for this terrific volleyball match as Reckerman serves. Well, we can barely see the court for crowd, and it's in. Oh, what a brave shot from Benjamin Insferan as he continues the debate with both German players. We could barely see the action because the crowd are up on their seats here. So the Germans have their first match point go begging. Brazil show their guts, 20 points all. This is almost like another match now. Forgotten of the previous 2 sets, which in themselves had wonderful volleyball. The great start for Germany has been cancelled out, and an ace. What a time to serve an ace. And Benjamin Insferan with a German contingent in the crowd there, sharing his thoughts. Some Brazilians above that group of Germans, and they've been very sporting, I must admit. This has been a great atmosphere here. Match point number 8 for Brazil. Oh, Dieckman's on it. Tough shot on the net, and it's out of bounds. That was a massive hit from Marcus Dieckman to save that match point. Again, it's the cross-court shot. Again, Araujo just finds himself centimetres out of position. 21 points all. The tiebreaker set here in Mallorca. Spanish Open men's final. Araujo and Benjamin Insferan has had 2 touches given against him on the set. He turns away with no debate. Very, very brave decision from the referee. And because Marcio Araujo didn't complain either, it's all over, it's resolved. The score confirmed at 22 points to 21 for Germany, their second match point. Araujo, easy as you like, cool left-handed swing cross-court. He hits that shot so brilliantly well. Just fades it away from his body, and it looked like Reckerman in the block had got it covered, but he hadn't. 22 all. This is great entertainment here in Mallorca. Wonderful comeback shot cross-court from Reckerman to set up another German match point chance. The Germans not happy with the handling, the setting, that's the volley overhead from the Brazilians to give their attacking opportunities to their partner. And the German team will continue to complain about that, I think, because they've already had one call go their way. Ball up in the air, the wind very strong, that makes it more and more difficult to set the ball with your hands. You wouldn't believe how strong this wind is, and these fantastic athletes just making it look easy. Can they do it? Reckerman serves in the net. Well, you can see the reaction from the crowd right in front of our cameras. No doubt a German fan from that reaction. 23 points all. Germany have had 3 match points, they haven't converted. Brazil have had 8 match points, and they haven't converted. It's been a while since Brazil have been in the match point position. It almost seems an age ago. 23 all. 2 clear points needed to take the gold medal here in Spain. It's down. Benjamin Insfradan this time with the inspirational block on Jonas Reckerman. 24 points to 23. And it's difficult to believe that you're seeing this. This is fast approaching the longest ever beach volleyball match under the new rally point scoring system. Match point Brazil. It's saved, the joust at the net, pushed through after a terrible pass from Reckerman. Marcus Dieckman in the #1 vest gets up, forces it past the block of Insfradan. Wonderful decision to do that. Levels it at 24 all. The 9th match point for Brazil goes begging. This is incredible. The crowd actually getting more and more quiet in between the points, because I think they're just as exhausted as we are. The players must be out on their feet. Good shot, Benjamin Insfradan, very brave. Saw the block, saw the gap in the court, and went hard through the block and into court. And once again, Brazil find themselves in match point position. Quite incredibly, their 10th match point of this game. Jump float serve from Araujo, checks his position in court, runs line, and it doesn't matter because Jonas Reckerman is hitting brilliantly today. Match point saved. Wonder how many times more we're going to say that in this terrific tiebreaker set. The 3rd and final set of the gold medal match here in Playa de Palma. The weather looking pretty grey and overcast. The wind very strong indeed. The players won't notice, they're too tired. The crowd doesn't care. This is too good. Reckerman prepares to serve. 25 points all. This tiebreaker set should have been over at 15. It will run on until one team can score 2 points in a row. And that's a lot easier than it sounds in this Swatch FIVB World Tour. Araujo buries a ball cross-court from way off the net. Marcio Araujo in the #2 silver vest for Brazil had no right to put this ball away. The wind was blowing behind him, and he's still got enough topspin to dip it into court. Match point number 11, yes, 11 for Brazil. 26 points to 25. Benjamin Insfradan. Will he go for it? One big serve to decide it. It's passed well by Jonas Reckerman. And Reckerman this time cuts back, and the respect on court now between the two teams is just tangible. It's wonderful to see. 26 all. Brazil, and particularly the blocker Benjamin Insfradan, taking his hat off to the shot from Jonas Reckerman to level the scores once again. Marcus Dieckman serves. The little look, you can see Benjamin Insfradan when the ball's under control. As he dips to jump, he looks right through the net, then comes up into the air. He remembers the picture that he saw in his head, and he hits with the shot. Does it to perfection. 12th match point to Brazil, 27-26. Araujo serves. The Germans under pressure now. Reckerman needs a big shot here. Oh my goodness, yes indeed, Jonas, you've every right to shout. That was massive. Under pressure, way off the net. What a set from his partner. And that was the 1 metre of court that was open on that angle. If he'd hit line, it was an easy shot, but he chose to just swing and trust himself. Match point number 12 saved. 27 points all. This match has now advanced into the record books. It's the longest ever beach volleyball match under this new scoring system. Oh, it catches the net. Araujo's in trouble. It's a free ball. Jonas Reckerman then to put Germany back in the pole seat, and he has. Pole position goes to Germany once again. they take their 4th match point. 28 points to 27. Both teams tired but rejuvenated. The sun comes out right on cue. Reckerman to serve for their first World Tour title. But Arjo attacks through the middle, allows himself a tiny little double punch of the fists after the shot. Brazil save their 4th match point. Unfortunately for them, they've traded up 12 match points of their own. 28 points all. Nobody leaving this stadium, quite rightly. You can't take your eyes off this match. The crowd, who were stood up at 14 all, applauding these two great teams, have had to sit down again because 20 minutes later they're still playing. And a net touch spotted on Benjamin Insferan. That's when the teams get tired, they make mistakes. He just tries too hard on the block, drifts into it, and despite the pickup, Germany have their 5th match ball, 29 points to 28. Now, what do you do, Marcus Dieckman? Do you just hit it as hard as you can? No. Oh, it's a clever float serve, but it caught the net. That gave Araujo time. Easy stuff. Well, the Germans now grasping at straws. They're complaining that Benjamin Insferan's handling was poor. I don't think the ref's going to give anything at this stage. Tough one to call in these conditions, really. And they stopped playing. Cardinal sin. The German team just stood on the spot while Araujo put the ball away. 29 points all. Marcio Araujo to serve. What a shot through the middle from Reckerman. The Brazilians choosing to break from the net. That was clever. But the feed of the ball to the net from Marcus Dieckman off this very, very tough swirling pass was just sublime. The put away gives Germany their 6th match ball, and deservedly so. 30 points to 29. Between the two teams, they've had 18 opportunities to finish this match. Will the Germans do it now? Insferan with a world-class shot cross-court. And sometimes you can look at a player who behaves like that, and I think you can quite reasonably feel you're a big head. But not the case with Benjamin. That was just brilliant. And time again, Benjamin Insferan hits these shots. Time and time again, he will gesture like that. And I'm afraid you just have to let him get away with it because it's genius. It's beautiful to watch. 30 points all. Insferan to serve. It's another tough one on Reckerman. He's not passed well at the end of this game, but he has hit well. Well, he heaves a sigh of relief as he goes cross-court because the last 3 passes from the big German have gone astray. If it hadn't been for the setting brilliance of Marcus Dieckman, he wouldn't have been in a position to side out. 31-30. And now Germany will serve for the match for a 7th time. Marcus Dieckman. Too good. Benjamin Insferan has showed us his complete attacking wardrobe here today. Every single shot has been bought out, tried on, and kept out just in case it's needed again. And that roll on the cross court with a rainbow shot saves match ball, levels the score at 31 apiece. This is the 3rd and deciding tiebreaker set in the gold medal final from the Spanish Open. What a cut shot from Marcus Dieckman. He's hit power to the corner all day long, and then somehow, right in the battle of the heat of competition, he cuts it, takes the pace off, and has the presence of mind to read the run of Marcio Araujo in defence. 32-31. Jonas Reckerman serves. Germany's 8th match point. Easy shot, that's it. You leave that hand up there, Marcio Araujo. That was terrific. Saw Marcus Dieckman very early on in that. Dieckman just giving up his court position too obviously. 32 points all. We are now in a phase of the game where surely someone has to be brave. I don't think either of these teams are going to make a mistake. That's a very good jump float serve. Reckerman attacks, it's Doug. This has to be a good set. Araujo to score. He does. Oh, through the middle of the court from Marcio Araujo, and he finally allows himself a massive celebration and turn up for the books. His partner Benjamin Insferan is talking to him. That's got to be the first low five he's had all season. 33-32. It's been a long time coming, but Brazil have their 13th match ball. And the team that currently lays second on the World Tour, which means they're only the second place team to their compatriots Ricardo and Emmanuel in terms of the race for Olympic positions. They lay in a situation once again where they can take the match. Gold medal awaiting Benjamin Insferan and Marcio Araujo. And Marcus Dieckman attacks. Araujo's on it, but it's an overpass. And as the ball drops down on top of the net, Benjamin Insferan finds that there is acres of court to poke the ball into, and he does so. 34-32. History has been made. 1 hour and 38 minutes of beach volleyball. After a demanding and grueling schedule, the Brazilians come through and take the final. And that is a terrific performance. They maintain their position in second place on the World Tour. The Brazilian fans here are going bonkers, but the whole stadium is up and applauding, and they should be. That is a brilliant men's final from the Spanish Open. Dieckman and Reckerman have to be content with their 3rd silver medal of the season. They still can't quite put it away for a gold medal. Well, an amazing final here at the Spanish Open. Massive congratulations to Brazilians Marcio Araujo and Benjamin Insferan on their 3rd win on the Swatch FIVB World Tour in 2003. Now then, the men and women are going to head off to California, the mecca of beach volleyball, for the last Grand Slam of the season. And get this, wild cards have been awarded to Atlanta Olympic gold medalists and legends of the sport. Jackie Silva of Brazil, 41. Karch Kirai of the USA, 42. There's hope for us yet, but guess what? They'll still be expecting to win. I'll see you with that coverage soon. Goodbye.